Okay, Coach, it is a brisk night in the Midwest as we bring you football from Paul Brown Stadium in the Queen City, Cincinnati, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And some space here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
He'll get 3 up to midfield.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this is Simpson with a catch. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that?
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jalen Ferguson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board.
Let's go, D. What tight end? 4 down, check. 4 down. Whip. Ready.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level and quick. Make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Well executed there on second down. So do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility. But now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
Ready. 90. Cool. So don't say nothing. Ready.
Out of the gun now on third down. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Second and 5 at the 17-yard line.
Off play action. Robinson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
On third down, Robinson. And the pressure gets to him again. Jalen Ferguson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting him score a touchdown versus holding him to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Go. 64, weak. Ready, go.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now they try the right side here. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the Bengals' 49-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Showing up. Ready. Sit. Check the call.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half.
Ready.
Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Bravo. Cut up.
He'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jalen Ferguson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
It's now 3rd down and long.
Let's go now. Click the outlaw. Check, 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 check.
Robinson throwing on 3rd and long. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
2nd and 11 at the 19-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
I got you. I got you. Kill. Squeeze. Get in there. Kill. Dog. Bang. Let's go.
Now they'll run it on the toss.
You ain't doing nothing today.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Ready, set. Mike 51. Hey. No. 49, check for Leo. Set hut.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. 2nd quarter action, 1:56 remaining.
Let's go.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. On the move to his left. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, but the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Robinson. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
51. Ready.
Now this time he'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over them. And got his man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll set up a throw. Forced out to his left. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
53. Yes! 53. Exit. Check. 53. Check.
2nd and 5. And this will be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Alpha. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. You ain't going nowhere. 53 is the Mike. 53 is the Mike. 3 buzz. 53 is the Mike. 53. Check. Ready.
Back to throw. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot at picking. That off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down. Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And Gay knocks this one through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Let's go, Bengals.
Take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
On the deep ball. Leads to second and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Here's second and 10 now from the 35. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you termed that because...
And he coughed it up.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks them up.
And avoids the turnover.
Chopper. Say. Deuce. Hard. Check 99. Hey, Mike 51. Here we go.
And they give this time to the tailback. Better ball security, but not much else to show for it. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
15 lining. Check nine. Two, fellas, let's go. Yep. I got it. Go, Mike 51. Ready, go.
They'll drop the throw. Dancing to nowhere to go. Here he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. His sixth touchdown of the season as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Point after, right down the middle. And we are even at 10 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
Number 53, Mike 53. Strip the ball. Strip that ball. 53 at the mic. I got one. You're out. Check. Fresno.
He'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 39 yards there, a big one.
And the Raven first down.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
51, Mike 51. And what's that? And what's the ball? He's crashing. He's checking crash.
And he'll give it here to his running back. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Big stop, G. Big exit. Mike, ready, go. Let's go.
2nd and 9 now. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
A bit of an opening there on the 1st down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
The 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
Now Robinson from the gun on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Here's Archer. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
46-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Check. 66. Fully high.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Carl Lawson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Ready. Let happen.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
Well, when we go back to our conversation with the defensive coordinator, that type of a play was not a surprise to him. He expected trickery in this game, yet somehow his defense, they still took the cheese and got caught in the mousetrap.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's taken down inside the 30. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities. And we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big game.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's James. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Gay's kick is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. He finds an opening past the 40. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Back to throw. Robinson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Here's Robinson throwing on 4th down. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. To throw is Robinson, operating from the gun. Flush to his right, and that's complete to McCaffrey. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
On the ground, McCaffrey. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Heady on that one, huh? Getting out of bounds before the 2-minute warning. They get an extra timeout, extra opportunity to move the ball downfield. Very smart football.
Robinson now. Throwing on first down. He finds his man Johnson. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll give it here to his running back. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Harrison Butker on for the field goal.
And Butker able to put this one through. And with a little more than a minute to go, we are all tied. So a big kick to get this back to even. Yet now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you, but you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
53's a mark. 53. Check 56. Watch the ball. Check 53. Stand high. Check 53. Let's go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing right, and that's complete. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the 4th, but they got to feel good now. How does the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away? And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts. Got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We call that sack. Look.
Back at the 20-yard line.
Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for the Ravens, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.